I would have to. Yeah. I think I can honestly say 100% of the players would not go as far as Vrabel said he would go.
I hope so. Well, look, Mike, I think I speak for everybody when I say I know I miss you a ton on the radio. I know a lot of people do as well. So, but I'm certainly glad I found the Sorry in Advance podcast. You and your family are a riot. It's a really good change of pace in my podcast regimen. So if you haven't heard Mike's Sorry in Advance podcast with his family, you're also doing some solos on there, right? You're doing some one-on-one stuff?
Yeah, I'm starting to do some, listen, for the last 22, 23 years, I'm used to talking 4 hours every morning. I need an outlet every now and then. So sometimes I need to be away from the rest of the family just to kind of talk some sports. And I love doing that. I'll take questions from people out there as well when I do it. But the Sorry in Advance podcast, that was all my wife. She started that, and we've been doing that going on 2 years now. And let me tell you, we kind of have a rundown, but it gets thrown out so quickly, usually because of my daughter Sydney or my daughter-in-law Jenny say some of the stupidest stuff out there, and then it just slowly spirals downhill into a half hour of just pure dreck at times. But we love doing it.
Well, I'm glad I found that. I'm glad that you're doing some stuff on there too, and we can't wait to hear your call in the game. And it's good to hear in the booth. So I know we'll all be tuned in Saturday at noon to hear you give hopefully cheer our UCF Knights on to a big win, Mike. But we appreciate you taking some time for joining us. Be safe, and hopefully we can catch up soon.
All right, appreciate that. Enjoyed it. Thanks.
Thanks, Mike.
This is UCF head coach Josh Heupel, and I go 1-0 every week with my guys Adam and Mike on the Sons of UCF. Charge on, go Knights.
All right, that was a blast. Cool to catch up with Mike Golic. Listen, I grew up with Mike Golic. In some respects, my first real job. I remember getting in the car my first day, Mike, and I turned the radio on, and it was like a godforsaken hour in the morning, and I was like, who are these idiots talking sport? What is happening right now? And lo and behold, I learned that my commute would be at that time for pretty much the rest of my natural life. And so I grew up listening to a lot of Mike Golic on Mike and Mike and then Golic and Wingo. So super treat to have him on. I was really pumped when I saw that he was going to be calling the game. Actually, I think he broke the news, actually. Him and his wife, I think, broke the news that he would be calling the UCF game and that it was moved to ABC. So Golic gets a bit of a breaking news tip on that one. But it was really awesome to get a chance to catch up with him.
The Suns have done it again. We did George O'Leary twice now. We've got Maury Povich and now Mike Golic on the program. What an awesome get. What a great guy. So much fun to talk to. And you're right. Just hearing his voice just takes you back to, I don't know how many hours I spent listening to Mike and Mike and hearing him call college football games. So that was awesome. You think he has any interest now in rebooting the whole Mike and Mike thing? Maybe me and him go off and do a show together.
Well, you had a chance to ask him. I mean, you were in there. He did say he's dying to get back in front of the microphone. I was going to give him a standing offer to join the UCF Sons UCF podcast here. I didn't know if he'd be into that, though. Seemed like I thought we made good friends with him, and then didn't sound he was like really interested in dropping our name on the show. So I didn't want to press my luck, but maybe we'll send back another email and just say, hey, we enjoyed having Mike on the show. Mike wants to know when you guys are starting the new show. I mean, we'll just try that. But what happens?
It doesn't hurt to ask.
Wait, what happens to me? What do I do? What do I do?
No, we'll bring you on.
Okay.
Guys. Mike and Mike featuring Adam.
Okay.
Or with Adam.
All right.
What do you think about it?
I mean,
we'll figure that part out.
Featuring sounds better than with. With just sounds like I'm there. Featuring is like, wow, featuring Adam. But no, it was really cool to catch up with Golic. I look forward to his call on Saturday. Like I said, man, I'm not really wasn't trying to BS him or butter him up. But when I turned on that first game, it literally was like, oh yeah, that's Golic. Like you heard his voice, and it was almost just like a comforting feeling. So it's good to catch up with him and get his thoughts on UCF and really just his candid thoughts, Mike. I think that's the other thing that was really interesting is that a lot of the people we have on are, let's face it, they're kind of biased towards UCF, right? We have on UCF players, coaches, and folks with the program. And so it was great to have somebody on that, doesn't necessarily have that same background and kind of get his thoughts on where UCF is now, where they've come from, where they're going, and kind of his blunt honesty on what the future looks like for UCF. I mean, it certainly, probably wasn't what we all want to hear, right? Because I think he was pretty honest in what he thought would happen. And the reality is he's probably not wrong, which sucks. But it's really cool to get sort of a national outsider perspective on UCF.
He seems like he was one of those guys a few years ago that, he comes from Notre Dame and he looks at UCF like this little school. Yeah. Who are you guys? But it looks like he's one of these guys now that his mind is starting to change now. And he's been seeing UCF do what we've been doing for the last few years. We're happy to change minds all the time. Right? You know, what we did to Herb Street and some of these other guys. Seems like he's coming on board now after this week. Once he calls the game, let's see what kind of perspective he has on us.
UCF, we will change your minds free of charge. So hopefully you enjoyed this little Partly Sonny edition of the Sons of UCF. We had a cool opportunity to get Mike Golic on the show, so we thought we would certainly take advantage. Hopefully you enjoyed that. And if you're enjoying what we're doing here, make sure you subscribe to our new podcast feed. You can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts. Spotify, Stitcher, Google, Apple, wherever you listen to shows, we are there. If you'd be so kind, if you like what we do, if you think that us getting some good guests is cool and all, and you want to give us a rating, Mike, can you give the audience an understanding of what kind of rating they should give us?
I don't think they let you do anything more than 5 stars.
Yeah.
So I guess 5 stars is what you should click on.
Listen to Uncle Mike, 5 stars it is. So if you could give us a rating and review, that would be totally cool. And if you like what we do here, you're going to want to check back in on Twitter, on Facebook, and probably even on YouTube if I can get the button to work. On Saturday, right about an hour before kickoff, we are going to do the Sons of UCF live stream pregame show again, featuring Trace Chelko again. And we've got a couple of cool wrinkles worked out this time. Mike's done he spent some time in the lab this week. He's got something to cook up. We're working on a couple of special guests. And a couple of fun things. So, again, 11 a.m.-ish Eastern Time, Saturday. Find us on Twitter. Find us on Facebook. You can search at Sons of UCF, and you'll find us there. And we are going to go live. And it was a lot of fun last week, Mike. We enjoyed it. Sounds like a lot of the fans enjoyed it. We want to hear your questions, though. We want to hear your comments, so make sure you throw those in the chat. I will be happy to throw those up on the screen and take all thoughts and comments. So if you like what we do here, check us out Saturday and hopefully every week before the game on our Sons of UCF live pregame show.
I told you guys we're going to get better as the weeks go on. We've only done one. The first one was great, right? I expect even better this week. And I don't know about everybody else, but before the UCF game, I'm pacing around. I'm waiting for the game to start. Now you've got this show to tune into. And some people will watch College Game Day and they talk about UCF for 2 minutes and everybody goes nuts. They post it all over Facebook and Twitter. Oh, look, they talked about us for 2 minutes and here it is. Well, guess what? You got your guys, Adam and Mike now. You got a full hour. Trace Chelko coming to you live, taking your questions, talking about the game, getting you hyped up, giving you updates, letting you know what's going to happen this Saturday, and having some fun at the same time. We don't take ourselves too seriously. We have a good time, and it's exactly what you need to get ready for kickoff. And this week, it's a 12 o'clock game, so there's no other games to sit around and watch. Why not just tune in and check out the pregame show?
You sold me, Mike. I will be there. How's that? I will be there. Hopefully you guys will be there too. Again, we appreciate everybody. This show doesn't happen without everybody out there listening and writing and commenting and giving us some good feedback. So all of you out there, we appreciate you. We are, by the time you hear this, we are getting so close to kickoff. So let's cross our fingers, as Mike Golic said, that the game goes off as always. And no matter what happens, check back with our feed. Episode number 100 of the Sons of UCF will be premiering next week. In true Sons of UCF fashion, we have no idea what we're going to talk about yet, but that's okay. Whatever it is, check back next week, and episode 100 we'll recap the ECU game. We'll do a bunch of fun stuff, so don't miss that at all. Until then, everybody enjoy the end of your week here, and we can't wait to see you guys all on Saturday for the pregame show. Go Knights!
Charge on.